Welcome back, Camily. As you guys know, we recently lost our cat, Birdie. It's been really tough, especially just walking around the house and she's not there. She's not there in all her usual spots. And just having a cat around the house, we are so used to it and the house feels so empty without her, even though we have 3 dogs. And so we knew that eventually we would probably get another cat. By no means to replace her or anything, but you know, I always pictured the girls growing up with a pet cat around. You know, I'm a huge cat person. I like dogs, but I'm definitely a cat person. And so yeah, we always knew eventually we would have the space in our hearts for another cat. Birdie was our first cat, and we only had her for a few years. She definitely died way too soon. So we kind of told ourselves around Christmas time, in about 6 months, we would think about it. But then there was the floods here in Texas. There's a lot of areas nearby that were really affected, and a lot of shelters that had to be evacuated, which led to a lot of animals ending up in the Austin animal shelters. They were just overflowing with animals and posting on social media that they needed some help, donations and volunteers and foster parents for these animals. And we figured, you know, we have a cat-sized hole in our hearts and we have love to give to a cat, and these cats need our help. So we signed up to foster a cat. And we kind of thought of it as like a temporary trial run to kind of gauge where we're at, if we'd maybe be ready for a new cat in our home permanently, or who knows, maybe we do foster a cat and realize it is a little fresh and we're not quite ready. And so we went to the shelters and looked at all these different cats. And of course the girls were really drawn to the kittens, but the shelter was super busy and everyone was adopting all the kittens. And we saw so many people pass by the older cats. One older cat in particular that was named Car, and she was just the sweetest, so docile. Right away, like, rolled over onto her back and let us rub her belly, and we just fell in love with her. The shelter didn't know much about her. They had gotten her from a different shelter that was flooding, so she had kind of been tossed around, and as far as her history, whether she was a stray or lived in an unsafe environment, we just have absolutely no idea where she came from. But she was 3 years old, recently had some kittens, which again, we have no idea about her kittens, where they are, but she was really skinny, only weighing 5 pounds, and for a 3-year-old cat, that is not great. So yeah, she definitely needed us, needed to be very well fed and taken care of and loved. And so we decided to foster her, and we brought her home, and we figured she wasn't super attached to the name Car, because with how skinny she is, it's very obvious that there's no one that's been like taken care of her before. She clearly didn't come from a place that she was being properly fed. And so together we all kind of landed on the name Toast, just because she looks like a burnt piece of toast. She's black and cream, and it's just giving bread, loaf, toast. And we went to the pet store and got her some food and some toys. And then me and Cody just spent the entire day snuggling with her. And at first we kind of kept her in a separate room and let her acclimate. She was a little scared, as expected, but she really blew us away with how brave and adventurous she was. She did not really want to stay in that room. It's clear she wanted to be like hanging out with us and cuddling. And so we just kind of were following her lead, and she just wanted to hang out in our bed. So we spent like a good few days just watching Grey's Anatomy with Toast in bed, and just instantly fell in love with her and knew that we could not part with her. And since we're fostering, you know, we're supposed to kind of help her find a home, and people were emailing and reaching out saying, hey, I saw a Car online, I want to come and meet her and maybe adopt her. And we have 48 hours to respond to those emails and facilitate that. We kind of had to make a split decision and be like, we either need to help her find a home or decide that we're her home. And it was a pretty easy decision. She just feels like ours, and she just fits right into our family. So we're officially adopting her now. She has a few more tests and shots that she needs to get done before we can sign the papers. And that needs to get done today at the clinic. And then we'll be able to make it official. No more people emailing us trying to take her. So yeah, today's Toast's official adoption day. I'm really excited. I know she's not gonna have fun getting in the crate and being in the car and obviously having to get shots. So it's not the funnest day for her, and she doesn't know the significance of it. She doesn't know that she's getting adopted, but a really happy day for our family. And who knows, maybe in the future we will continue to foster cats and like actually foster them and not keep them. But yeah, we're gonna go feed Toast some breakfast and then we'll be on our way. Come here, Dummy. You're gonna not like this. Are you ready? They're gonna be so brave, and at the end, you're officially adopted. She's gonna be so spooked. You're bringing me back. She'll be like, no, don't leave me here. She's such a baby. She's gonna think we're bringing her back for good. You're such a good kitty. Let's go. Here you go, little girl. Yeah. I put your blanket in there so you feel comfy. You gonna go get her a treat? Yeah. Oh, I know. Back in here. What the heck? You poor baby. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. There you go, Toast. Poor scared thing. Piggy. Let's go. Like cats, dog, got here, we got checked in, and they're about to take her back and give her some pokes, and that's the worst part. It'll be over, and then we get to adopt you. Oh yeah. She's so sad. She's accepting it. She meowed a lot on the way here. She's talkative. Now she's just like, okay, okay. They got longer and sadder. I'm just scared she thinks we're bringing her back and never taking her home again. It's okay, girly pop. Careful. Come on, Lala. Name is Flight Risk. Yep, she's negative.
Can I pet it?
Car was sitting. They're so cute.
He's a chill guy.
He's not. He's not very. He's in trouble.
Oh, I want to pet it. Can we try to pet it? Can I pet it?
No.
I need to pet that one.
It's official. You're ours forever.
And she's not sick.
And you're perfectly healthy. You got all your shots. And you don't have to go back in the car for a long time.
Sweet baby.
Oh, it's locked? Here, hold this. Okay, hold it, bro. Bro.
Get her off that stinking cage.
Alright, Toast. You're home. Look. We're not so bad. We're back.
I got to go home now. I hate that.
I'm coming at you now 3 months later. It has now been officially 3 months since the day that we adopted Toast. And it has been a crazy 3 months. She's shown a lot of growth. It wasn't easy. There was periods that were a little rough there, but we're so proud of where she's at right now. In the first few days that we had her, like I said, she was just super sweet and cuddly and docile. But yeah, once she kind of got her bearings around here and she realized where the food comes from, where the food is stored, that became the only thing that she cared about ever, all the time. She started being very vocal and would just sit in front of the pantry where we have the cat food, and she would just meow. She would meow at the door and wait for someone to come and open it. At any given moment, it's like, where's Toast? Oh, she's in the kitchen. She's patiently waiting for her next meal. And of course, when it was actually time to feed her, she went completely insane. Occasionally, she would like come to our bedroom just to yell at us, to be like, hey, get in the kitchen and feed me again. She wasn't aggressive at all about it, but definitely very adamant. Definitely letting us know that she wants food and a lot of it. And obviously, you know, she was underfed and malnourished, but it still wasn't a good idea to just give her unlimited food. She would have made herself sick. But we still were definitely feeding her a lot, like double what a normal cat should be eating per recommendation of the vet. She was eating 3 very big meals a day, and it still was just never enough for her. And then she started to steal food from us. Like I said, she waits at the pantry, so if anyone opens it, she was like running, climbing up to the tall shelf and grabbing the entire bag of bread and running away and going under the couch to go eat bread. Or there was a time that my partner was making a sandwich and they turned around and they turned back around and their bread was gone. She was really crazy about bread in particular, which is really funny because her name is Toast. And then the girls would be like eating their food at the table and she'd climb up there and start eating it with them. It very quickly got to the point where if there's any food out, if there's food being cooked, Toast had to just be completely removed and locked away temporarily in the other room. And that definitely helped a little bit. When there was food around, it felt like she was in like fight or flight mode and like very anxious. Her heart would start like racing at the thought of stealing people's food. So to not have her around food when it wasn't time for her to eat definitely helped a lot with her anxiety. With her situation, that's what we assumed it was, just a lot of anxiety around food and this like scarcity mindset, her just not knowing and feeling secure about like when she's gonna get her next meal. And then we started seeing worms in her litter box, and it became very clear that a lot of her nutrition was being stolen literally right from her tummy by these worms. That's why she was a bottomless pit. That's why she would eat a huge meal and still be acting like she's starving. And you know, I bet it's a combination of a lot of things. I don't think it's just the worms. Like, she definitely seemed very anxious about it. Plus she had worms, plus she was legitimately just malnourished when we got her. So that was definitely the biggest hurdle with adjusting to having her around, was dealing with the food situation. And it was just really sad because it felt like she just couldn't be a normal cat and do normal cat things. She was too busy worrying about food. And in those first few days, she was super snuggly, and then she like couldn't snuggle for longer than a few minutes without being like, all right, I need to go back to the kitchen. So we took her to the vet, she got dewormed, and then literally like a week later, she got spayed. So that all kind of took place around the same time, and it was a lot for her. She definitely like wasn't feeling well. Spent a week just being like really sleepy and kind of hiding away from everyone. But on the other side of it, she has been just a brand new cat. Super snuggly and affectionate, wanting to be around us all the time, hanging out by like the window instead of outside of the pantry. She really loves hanging out with the girls in their room. If the girls are home, that is her favorite place to be. Otherwise, she hangs out with me and Cody in the office. Our cat Birdie is buried outside in the backyard, and the window that Toast likes to sit at is right next to where Birdie is buried outside. So it's very sweet seeing her spend so much time in that spot. There's definitely this sense of like, I wish they could have known each other. I wish they could have been, you know, sisters. And I don't know how much Birdie would have liked having another cat around, honestly, but it is a sweet thought. And it's sad that they'll never meet. But yeah, Toast really is such a sweet cat. She gets along with the dogs really well. She's never bitten or scratched or anything, even towards the dogs. She does like to use her paws to like communicate and get what she wants. She'll like very gently like give me a little tap. I found her. It's been really rewarding the last few months seeing her just learn how to be herself and to act like a normal cat. I'm really proud of her. And her coat is looking a lot better. She was very scraggly looking when we first got her. And of course her weight is almost fully restored. She'll probably always be a bit small and stunted, but you know, she's a healthy weight now. And yeah, we're all just really happy to have her around. Definitely can't imagine life without her at this point. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, Camille.